All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a weapon and its god roll that everyone has been going absolutely crazy for. But there's only one problem. That roll that everyone is going crazy for is not its true god roll. I know it might sound confusing, but stick around because if you can get this weapon's true god roll, it becomes one of the best weapons in the game, and the cherry on top, it's a primary weapon. Maybe that's just a cherry on top for me because you all know how much I love my primary weapons. But before we get started, if you're new and only if you enjoy my videos or find them useful, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you still have no idea what this weapon is, even with the name of it in the title, it is none other than the Doom of Chelchis? Chelchis? I have no idea. I'm just going to call it the Doom. Stats on screen now. It is a 180 RPM precision frame void scout rifle that is acquired via the King's Fall raid. Loot table on screen now. As you can see, it can drop from 3 different encounters: opening portal, totems, and oryx. Now, just like all the other King's Fall weapons, it is craftable. So you're not really chasing a god roll. You're more so chasing those red borders, which for this weapon will take 5 red borders to unlock its pattern. Red borders can drop from any encounter that this weapon can drop from. They can also drop from the 3 secret chests, though only once you've obtained it via an encounter. There is also a secret puzzle chest that can be done once per week that guarantees a red border at boss, but the weapon it drops is random. And finally, you can also buy 1 red border per week per account at boss. So if your RNG is trash, it will take you 5 weeks maximum to be able to craft this thing. So with how to get this bad boy out of the way, let's get into the perks. First up, its origin perk, Runneth Over. This perk is going to overflow your magazine when you reload based on the number of teammates nearby. The more teammates, the more ammo in a single mag. This perk is also affected via magazine perks and the artifact mod this season. If you haven't seen this origin perk in action yet, it's actually pretty insane. You can essentially double, if not triple, your mag size, and all you gotta do is reload near teammates. All right, let's get into the perk columns. For column 1, you're gonna find 9 barrel options. With this being a scout, I feel like stability doesn't really matter even on a controller, so I just go with range or handling. I'd recommend Hammer Forge for a straight boost to range, Corkscrew for a boost to range, stability, and handling, or Fluted for a massive boost to handling with a small boost to stability. There's not a perk that boosts only range and handling, but it's column 1, so I wouldn't think that hard about it. Just go with whatever you want. Next up, column 2, where you will find 7 mag perks. Now, because we know mag increasing perks affect the origin perk, I'd highly recommend you go with something like Appended, Extended, or Tactical Mag. Appended being my personal choice as it gives the most ammo with no reload speed penalty. But of course, if you're a range fiend, you can also go with Accurized in this column. Now, of course, columns 1 and 2 don't matter nearly as much as our next 2 columns, columns 3 and 4. Okay, so normally I go over each column and tell you what perks to go with after each column, but for this video, I'm gonna go over columns 3 and 4 back to back, then talk about the different god roll combinations. For column 3, you're gonna find 7 perks. Rangefinder, Steady Hands, Adaptive Munitions, Stats for All, Explosive Payload, Firefly, and Vorpal Weapon. Then for column 4, same story, 7 perks. Eye of the Storm, Unrelenting, Repulsor Brace, One for All, Frenzy, Focus Fury, and Dragonfly. Now let's go ahead and talk about the roll that everyone is calling the god roll. Firefly in column 3 and Dragonfly in column 4. Now, if you're curious on this perk combo and how it works, because it's essentially 2 of the same perks, Firefly is normally found on kinetic weapons and will always explode in solar damage. And Dragonfly is normally found on energy weapons and explode in whatever elemental said energy weapon is. So for this weapon, whenever you get a precision kill, you get both a solar explosion and a void explosion. And it's not like double the size or anything like that. It's literally just an explosion within an explosion. Now, while it sounds really cool to have, it doesn't really do anything for you in the grand scheme of things as much as some of the other perk combos we're about to talk about will. But it is a cool roll, so I will be giving this roll the official Giga Chad stamp of approval. Only one other weapon has ever gotten this stamp, and it was an AR that rolled like triple tap 4 times the charm back in Witch Queen. They're essentially just pointless rolls that are just fun and memey to use, I guess. Okay, but let's talk about those other rolls. First is Explosive Payload in column 3 and One for All in column 4. Having Explosive Payload makes activating One for All stupid easy, as the explosion from the bullet just touching an enemy counts as a hit, thus activating One for All. Not to mention the damage increase from Explosive Payload stacked with One for All is like 50% increased damage damage. Now, I could get into the whole nitty gritty of why scouts normally aren't that good at group clear, and having an AoE effect like explosive payload makes it really good at just that. But all you really need to know is that this is a god tier combo. Now, building off that combo, you could also take Firefly in column 3 instead of explosive. This is going to make this weapon an absolute ad clearing machine, and the explosion from Firefly can also proc one for all. This is of course assuming you can easily land those headshots. So it's kind of a trade-off. Firefly won't increase damage like explosive payload will, but it will improve your ad clear depending on if you can hit your shots. You could also swap one for all with Frenzy if you prefer Frenzy, though I'm not too sure why you would, since one for all is so easy to activate with explosive payload and or Firefly, but maybe you want to run Vorpal in column 3 instead. Vorpal with Frenzy will be a very good higher level content role where you're going up against a lot of yellow health bar enemies, though even that type of content, one for all doesn't require kills, so in my opinion, I'd still go with explosive payload and one for all. All around, the Doom is an absolute monster, especially with that explosive payload one for all role, but it does have other combos that still make it really good, like S tier good. I don't agree with anyone saying to use Firefly / Dragonfly, as it's really not that good, but if you're memeing around, it is the Giga Chad roll, so I can't hate on it too much. In my opinion, this is one of the best weapons in the game and definitely worth picking up. But that is the Doom and its true god roll. Now, sadly, my RNG is in the garbage and I've yet to get a decent roll. So let me know if you've managed to snag one, because if so, I'm big jealous. Also, let me know what you think about this weapon. Do you like it, hate it? Let me know down below. With all that being said, the rest of the video is just going to be some raw gameplay of this weapon so you can see how good it really is. Feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.